The most common question that we get, hands down, is what's the better TV technology, plasma or LCD? There's not a firm answer on this because they both perform differently in different environments, but most professionals in the industry will tell you that plasma has a higher top end, a better chance at getting the perfect picture out there. And it has to do with how they create their pictures, what the technology is. Just real quick, I'll kind of, on the high points of them, basically when I make that statement earlier, it's all based on the fact that plasma has the ability to have the richest, deepest blacks and the most true color. LCDs and LED-based LCDs are both very bright, but they can tend to get a little washed out. I seriously doubt you can get this on the video, but if you go into a retailer, electronics retailer, or come into our showroom, you'll easily be able to see the difference in this being a plasma TV, whereas an LCD right here, the blacks and the dark areas just aren't as rich and deep. Plasma, the way it makes its picture, you have these little tubes of gas that are ignited with electricity to different intensities. 3 tubes per pixel, one red, green, and blue. When plasma wants to create a white image, those are burned or ignited at 100% to give you pure white light. If they want to do black, they simply turn that cell off, or as close to off as possible, which lets them get a very rich, deep picture. In contrast with that, LCD and also LED-based LCDs have a backlight, a white backlight that's always on. And you might be able to see this on the video, but you can see the white light coming through here. Basically, you have a huge white light similar to like if you were looking at an X-ray. And then you have, on the outside, a color membrane. Okay? Each pixel divided into thirds, red, green, and blue, just like stained glass. Okay? In between that stained glass and that pure white light is an LCD membrane. Those are cells just like on your calculator. Okay? And those work like doors to block that white light. When they talk about refresh rate, 120, 240, that's how fast that door can appear and disappear in a given second. So when they want to do red, then the other 2 doors are closed and only red comes through. Purple, some red, some blue. But when they want to do black, they have to close all those little doors and hold that white light back. Well, there's always a little bit of light that seeps around the edges. That's what makes it so much harder for LCD to get that rich, deep, dark picture that plasma can get. LED-based LCDs, can you see me over here? LED-based LCDs are an advancement on traditional LCD technology. In LED TVs, you have a bunch of lights behind this panel as opposed to one huge white light, which gives the manufacturers the ability to turn off zones of those lights, so there's not as much ambient, unnecessary white light. And you can see a very clear transition from a traditional LCD to an LED-based LCD being a better picture, and then up to a nice plasma TV, which has the richest and deepest picture. The LEDs are great TVs. They're very thin. They're very, very attractive. But from a pure performance perspective, plasma still kind of sets the bar. And when I say that, I'm talking about good plasma. You know, there's some stuff out there that you probably want to stay away from. One of the differentiators that is fairly applicable when you're comparing LCDs and plasmas is the screen material that they're made of. LCDs have a plexiglass front, whereas plasmas have a glass front. You see, reading articles that you need to have an LCD if it's a bright room. That's not really accurate. If you have light directly behind you, windows, lamps that could reflect off the screen, you will be able to see those more prominently in a plasma, which has the glass, versus a LCD or LED-based LCD, which has the plexiglass. But I just caution you, don't feel like you have to live in a cave to buy a plasma. It's really not very accurately displayed in a lot of the media. And what we ask is you take a few minutes and come to one of our showrooms in Pineville or our showroom in South Park and take a look at the video wall. We have, I don't know, 30, TVs set up in here, and we can show you some very real-world examples of what is being talked about when you read these magazines. Or if you would like to go to our website, zobotv.com, you can see other videos like this and learn a little bit more about our company.